Good morning, everybody. Today I have a lot to get through, so I'm going to be reading the Law of Forgiveness, Abundance, Ready for Change, and Helping a Mate. And then we'll be done for today. So sit back, listen, and comment whatever questions you might have. Okay, the Law of Forgiveness. The Law of Forgiveness comes from the Lord's Prayer, wherein it is said, "And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us." This is a universal law. Then when you forgive and ask for forgiveness in return, the karma of the situation begins to be neutralized. Here is what you can do to help yourself. Every morning and every evening for at least 10 days to 2 weeks. I can see where I left off now. When you arise in the morning and before returning at night, sit and be still. Close your eyes. The sun's blaring. Picture the soul that you wish to forgive, smiling and happy. Then say the following out loud to this soul, whoever the name might be. I'm going to use my own name, for instance. Marcia, I forgive you for everything you've ever said or done to me in thought, word, or deed that has caused me pain in this and any other lifetime. You are free, and I am free. And Marcia, I ask that you forgive me for anything that I have said or done to you in thought, word, or deed in this or any other lifetime that has caused you pain. You are free, and I am free. Thank you, God, for this opportunity to forgive Marcia and to forgive myself. You will know when the cease saying this on a daily basis when you have the true release sometime after 10 days to 2 weeks. That release may be crying, laughter, a feeling of well-being, anything. You will also find that you have entirely changed your attitude towards this soul, and that this soul's attitude will change towards you, too. You will now begin to really see what the problem is and begin to work with that karma and neutralize it, freeing yourself from pain, becoming happier, healthier, and more peaceful in mind, body, and spirit. Titania, from yesterday, realized she had been trying to complete herself with someone else. Her belief was, if I give you what you want, will you love me? If I complete you by providing fulfilling sex, will you complete me and take care of me? Titania realized she didn't need the sexual relationship to be complete. She needed to take responsibility for herself so she could merge. Once she was able to change her focus from being half a person into being a whole person, she changed her experience with Daniel. Then continued to see each other socially, and Titania noticed that they were becoming two complete energies within themselves that came together to create a third energy. Being a stomach body type, peace and calming was extremely valuable for her fear of losing control. Abandonment during the illness of crisis and the fear Titania has carried as long as she can remember. Once she recognized the profound effect the lavender had her abandonment issue. Titania was able to address other issues as well and allow them to clear just as gently. Titania now has a profound sense of inner knowing that she has learned the lesson of keeping the commitment and taking care of herself has changed the cellular pattern that led her body's tumor formation. Abundance, the next part. This is about Pete. Pete, a self-employed contractor, adrenaline body type, age 45, wanted to work in abundance. Being a self-employed, he was responsible for portraying all the jobs for himself and his crew. He began by testing his abundance, which did not show up, then lack, which was tested negative. Looked for the underlying emotion. We found failure. Fear of failure is stored in the thymus gland. The other side of failure is unfoldment. And the way to get the unfoldment is I accept growth. The quickest way for Pete to change his pattern is to apply peppermint oil for the feelings and say the statement, I accept growth, 7 times per day for 7 weeks. After 3 weeks, Pete had secured 2 large jobs that would keep him and his crew busy until the end of that year, in addition to his regular jobs. He realized that bringing in more business would require hiring more crew. So he decided to continue the peppermint for a while. He decided he would resume the peppermint when he was ready to accept growth in other areas of his life. Ready for a change? Tanya realized she was a verbally abused relationship with her husband's teenage daughter, Susie. Her husband's guilt over the divorce of Susie's mother prevented him from disciplining her. The husband would not support or rescue Tanya from Susie's anger and verbal abuse. Tanya had it, and the dysfunction in her life, and realized that the only way a healing could occur was for her to change her limiting patterns. She began to select 2 oils, purification for anger and Sarah for abuse, but connecting with core issues to use 18 times a day for 7 weeks, along with the 3rd oil, release, it to use 10 times a day for 7 weeks for loss of identity and fear of success. Being committed, her focus was on remembering to apply the oils. This is a full-time job and a bit challenging when she wore a one-piece leotard or pantyhose with a full-length dress, especially since the issues was anger, liver alarm point, and another loss of identity, the uterus alarm point. I guess you have to get on the bare skin to put the oils on. So if you have leotards or pantyhose on, you have to pull them down to get to the areas where you have to put the oil. Like the liver is on the back and the uterus is in the front. The first week, she only applied the oils 10 times a day rather than 18, as Tanya became aware of how she had been valuing herself. As she was able to increase the number to 18, repeated the negative old pattern followed by the positive new state, and the affirmation statement brought her daily thought patterns into conscious awareness. She became aware of the direction she needed to go to get to where she wanted to be, and what she had been doing to stay stuck. The old pattern was doing a little of everything without focus, was associated with the fear of completion. This is the other related pattern surfaced in a gentle way. uh, at a pace she was able to handle. Dictated and reaching a new plateau, she was aware of how good it felt to really care about herself as she continued for the 7 weeks. Her newfound clarity and awareness allowed her to finally embark on a career. Now, the last page here for today. Tanya had been raised to be selfless and endless service, and had become a doormat in the process. Using the oils, she immediately noticed that she was able to calm and effectively handle situations where before she would react emotionally. Let me lower this down a little bit. Barely can see me. There we go. Especially in two teenagers in the house, and Tanya was able to respond rationally rather than react emotionally to stress, enabling her to maintain a peaceful place so she could step out of the argument rather than to be caught up into it. With her body type being lung, which was extremely sensitive to emotions, this was the major accomplishment. She gained greater clarity, self-awareness, and strength by lovingly and firmly expressing herself. Her family gained a better understanding on how she really felt and developed a greater respect for herself. Emotional, but by nature, clearly the negativity around core issues allowed her to get in touch with her true feelings, and as a result, her be true to herself. Following her 7-week intensive, Tanya's purpose continues to become clearer and more defined as life presents her with opportunities to experience and express her gifts and talents. She is more and more aware of what she really wants to do. For the first time in her life, she is finding her inner strength, her core, and integrity, all aspects of herself. She has come to realize how she is and how she responds to situations affects her family and every other person she contacts. While she is fully aware of the emotional state of those around her, she no longer has the emotional reflect their emotions. For the first time in her life, she was set free. That must feel awesome. The last section for today, helping a mate. Elaine and Bob were a very good, loving relationship. Even though they were exceptionally supportive of each other, there were times when Elaine felt that Bob didn't listen to her. She has asked him repeatedly to please open her bathroom door when she gets up because she doesn't want to wake him with the noise of her hairdryer in the bathroom gets hot. But she can't hear him over the noise of the dryer. Even though he repeatedly promises to do better, he can't seem to remember to open the door. Another problem is the cat is getting old and finicky about her food. Elaine has repeatedly asked Bob not to give the cat so much food because she won't eat leftovers. Bob keeps giving her too much food, and then when reminded, feels Elaine is nagging him. When Elaine needs someone just to listen and share her feelings of frustration, Bob gets upset, even angry at times. Sounds like a soap opera. Leaving Elaine feeling so she can't share her feelings with him. Repeated discussions of the behavior pattern did nothing to change it, or rather only brought up more frustration and aggravating the problem. In talking to Elaine, I asked her what she felt an underlying issue was for Bob. She related it to his feeling helpless, like when her mother for his buddies in Vietnam were dying. An underlying emotion for feeling helpless and overwhelmed. The other side of overwhelmed is vision. And the way to get there is the statement, I focus my energy. And the oil envisions is the alarm point, so the vision point is near the eyes. Don't get oils in your eyes. Please don't get oils in your eyes. It burns. That's not part of the story. I'm just warning you. Elaine shared her discovery with Bob and gave him an envision oil. Elaine noticed that Bob put the statement on the emotions on his mirror. But the second morning, Elaine came to Bob and said, it's working. The cat had the right amount of food. The doors were open and her communication more free and open. Bob hadn't noticed a change yet, but did by the 5th day. Needless to say, Bob continued to use the oil and cleared the pattern. A wonderful ending, huh? That's all for today. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about clearing emotional patterns, but unless something gets in the way and I can't do it. But just want to let you know I got hired. I start to work Monday, if my feet allow me. I don't know if you remember, I have frostbite on both my feet, so if I can get the swelling down to get my feet into the boots that I can put them on and wear them, then I'll be going to work. So pray for me that I can get my swelling down. I'm going to use my oils and ace bandages, whatever I need to do to get the swelling down, so I can put my boots on and be able to get my feet back to normal. So, I guess that's it for today, and hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, and see you tomorrow. Ta-ta for now.